Welcome, everyone, to episode 53 of the Circle Back Podcast, the show where three great friends get together and just talk about video games. I'm Dan LaMarca. As always, I'm joined by Dan Dufrenoy.
I'm waving even though you can't see me.
And Shelby White.
How you doing?
And Dan alluded to our new way of recording. We are just doing audio for the podcast.
Your podcast.
This is pure podcasting pleasure brought to your ears by us.
Your vestibular senses.
Vestibular?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, I go to school.
Put that thesaurus away.
The SAT was yesterday.
Yeah,
Did you go?
Our olfactory senses you're going to be delighted.
Olfactory?
Olfactory senses, yeah, the first cranial nerve.
Dan's been studying.
Dan's a smart guy.
No, wait, that's your smell.
Uh-huh. I was trying to help you out here.
We're very smelly. You're gonna smell very well.
Take a whiff of that.
I had it right the first time. I should have just stuck with that.
Anyway, we are going to start this episode off like we always do. Dan, what have you been playing, bud?
Okay, I've only been playing one game, to be fair.
Is it a good game or a bad game?
It's a good game, and it's a game that I know that you've played, and I don't know if Shelby's played, and I would hope that Shelby's played. And let's talk about this one game. Ape Out.
Ape Out.
Been playing Ape Out, yeah.
So I also have been playing Ape Out, and I think it's really, really, really good.
I think it's probably my favorite game of the year so far.
Yeah?
But for different reasons. I think it's unique, I like Apex and Resident Evil and games like that. But this one was unique enough. For those of you that don't know, it's very much
describe it a little bit.
Hotline Miami-esque. It's like a top-down
with some Saul Bass art.
Yes, if you don't know who that is, he did a lot of movie posters. It's like this very jagged. I don't know how to describe it. You play this gorilla, and the story is very simple. It's point A to point B. You're a gorilla trapped in this research facility, whatever, and you gotta get out and you gotta attack anybody that's in your way. But in the meantime, there's this jazz score that's over it that it accentuates when you hit someone, when you kill someone.
Yeah, it's fully reactionary to what you're doing.
You're
so
creating the jazz soundtrack.
In a slow part, it'll just be slow little quiet pitter patter, and then when you throw someone into the wall, it'll be like a big trumpet horn or something. Like really, really cool stuff.
And it really takes the whole jazz aesthetic and just kind of you're creating the music as it goes along, which is really, really cool. And then also the art style, you kind of create the art style as well with people's blood, and it becomes like a Jackson Pollock sort of esque painting of different colors, and there's different gameplay elements. One area it's different where you're just racing from top to bottom, trying to find the staircase to get down. But most of the time you're just going around throwing people and killing people and trying not to die and getting from point A to point B.
Yeah.
But it's unique enough in its aesthetic and the music and the gameplay wise that to me makes it very, very endearing and
absolutely
a piece of art.
So yeah, you nailed it when you said you're literally making art as you're doing it. Between the blood of the people you're killing is splattering all over the place and looking like a painting, and the way the color scheme is set up, it's very everything around you will be like a blue or a purple or something, and then the blood will be red or orange or something. So it's just very stark contrast to your surroundings. So you're kind of painting the entire place with the blood of these evil people that are keeping you captive. And then, like we said, as you're going through, you basically have two ways of killing these guys. If you hit the right trigger, you push them, and if you push them into a wall or into another person or into an explosive barrel, then they just explode, super violent. All you see is arms and a head left. Everything else is blown off. Or you hit the left trigger and you can grab somebody. And when you grab somebody, they basically, as you grab them, they fire off a shot. So you can kind of use that to have them shoot their own teammates. So you grab one, kind of turn him, and he'll shoot at one of their guys, and then you also are using him as a human shield. So when other people are shooting at you, you're kind of using the right stick to aim where the gorilla's facing in order for the guy you're holding to take the bullets. It's really, that's why we described it as Hotline Miami-esque, because it's not one shot and you're dead. It's 3 usually. But it really is kind of like a balancing act where you're okay, do I throw this guy? Do I grab him? How much space do I have between me and him? You're making a decision. All right, can I get to him before he shoots me?
And it gets difficult. It's procedurally generated, so each time you die, the layout's different and the enemies are placed different.
Yep.
Places. So
Yeah,
it's
they have
definitely-
basic a lot of procedural generation nowadays is like there are specific like rooms
Mhm.
and specific like things you should see, but otherwise like the hallways and everything are all procedural. But yeah, I mean, I think this game's fantastic, and it does such a good job of not stick like. So the game is pretty short. It's like 2 or 3
I
hours.
beat it my first playthrough. I did maybe
Yeah.
I should have been studying, but I decided to for like 3
Yeah.
hours or whatever.
Exactly. It's a nice length for what the game is because it doesn't overstay its welcome. And then when you beat the game, it opens up an arcade mode that
Mhm.
allows you to run through with like a timer and a score and stuff like that. So it's like if you want to keep going, there's reason to keep going, but it definitely doesn't overstay its welcome. And I think so. It's broken up into 8. The almost like records. It's like there are 8
Right, there's
worlds.
4 records, 2 sides.
Oh,
to
I'm
each
sorry. Yeah,
record,
I'm saying 8. I mean 4. There are 4 records, but each of them have 8 tracks, which are like the stages. I think the last one has like 6, but it's usually 8 for the first 3 and then 6 for the last one, and they're broken up into like A side, B side. So you kind of are in your own, like each has its own like biome. So like the first one is that science lab or whatever it is. Then you go to like a high rise, like a skyscraper, and they do such a good job of mixing up the environments and adding new enemy types and stuff like that to like never allow this to get stale. Like,
right,
it's
because then
really
you get to like a military base area where you have these guys with like flamethrowers and things
Yeah.
like that. I mean, maybe we shouldn't spoil. Maybe we'll just talk about it on the side.
Yeah.
What was going on at the end? There's some sort
Oh,
of.
yeah.
There's some sort of. I guess for a game that doesn't have a story, I'm very intrigued by what the
Yeah.
whole premise was. There's a moment right at the end that kind of makes you question if you're in reality or not.
Yeah, it's cool. I highly recommend this game. I think it's well worth your $15 or $20, whatever it is.
Mhm.
It's available on the Switch and Steam right now. I think they did say it's coming elsewhere, but I think it's just Switch and Steam at first.
I saw it on the Switch store.
Yeah.
When I was looking.
But it's really, really good. Me and Dan like our indie games, and this is like a really, really good one.
It's unique and fresh, and I think for what it goes for, when we talk about, I feel like when we talk about the games that we like, we're always like, oh no, this story, it touches on this, and it's super deep.
Mhm.
And this game doesn't have that, but it has enough of all the other stuff to make it.
Yeah.
It really makes me realize, sometimes games are just fun, and that's okay.
Mhm.
And like
Absolutely,
this game really, hits that nerve.
Yeah. I also just want to briefly say we didn't really do a great job explaining each level. So I said there were 8 on each world, and each level is so when you get to the end of the level, you now have completed that level. So if you die after, you'll restart at the beginning of the level that you're on, and then it pulls out and it shows you the layout of the level, and it shows like a line of like where you went and how far you got, and you're always like so close to the end. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
so close, I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you said it exactly right. Like, it nails what it's going for perfectly, and it never tries to be something it's not. You
Mhm.
know,
Are there secret areas or anything, or is it very linear?
it's pretty linear.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any secret areas or anything.
Well, I just when you said it opens up to the map, I didn't know if it was like, oh, there's a line, but if I had made a left, I could have gotten this. certain
Well, there is
thing,
stuff
you know,
like that because there are different pathways through, but it's basically there's one door in, one door out,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then it's you can take
It's a
different
maze.
hallways. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
maze.
There is a secret like level that you can do like after you beat all 4 of the albums. There's like a secret thing, but like it's not really a secret. It just
Right.
it shows up.
It's
and
just
says,
like
now
another
you,
level
Now
or
you can play
something
this,
like
yeah,
that,
but it's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Or
should
another character or
spoil
something
it.
like
Yeah,
that,
we don't need to spoil it, but it is cool. It's cool enough that you'd want to see it on your own. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's Ape Out. I think Dan and I both really recommend it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, I love Resident Evil and I love Apex Legends, so I don't know if it's my favorite game of the year, but it's definitely in the discussion.
I just think it was unique enough for me to like really,
Yeah.
and then that's taking away from Apex or Resident Evil, but I'm just saying
Oh yeah, blew me
Um,
away. I really, really
for
liked
what it
that
was,
game.
I think, and also I think going into it, like having my expectations like
Mhm.
subverted also,
Yeah,
really adds to
absolutely.
it.
All right, so that is Ape Out. Shelb, I want to hear about one of the big games on this list. I know you have been playing it. Neither of us have played it, and there are reasons for it, but I want to hear about Anthem.
All right, so you guys haven't touched Anthem yet.
Only played
Since the demo.
the demo. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I know it's been getting a bad rap, but I haven't run into any of the problems that everybody's talking about, like online and the PS4 crash. Well, I'm also playing on Xbox, so I obviously haven't had a PS4 crash, but I have been enjoying it. I didn't get a ton of time to play it, but I probably did play a good 10, 15 hours.
Okay.
So I've been going through it, going through the same levels that I already started. I was able to pick up right with the EA Access thing that I had, so there was no
Oh, that's good.
no break in my story or anything, no restart. And I find the combat really fun to play and everything, except it gets so repetitive. I think with some of the missions, except for this part that I'm up to now. Like it's been pretty repetitive, but at the same time kind of a marvel to just look at and be like, oh wow, this world's really big, this is really cool, this is fun. And then I was like 6-7 missions in and I was like, I'm kind of not doing the same thing, but at the same time doing the same thing.
Feels very similar.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I really like the customization. I think I spoke about that last time. But I'm up to this part now where I'm in free play mode, so I don't need to play with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
There are other people in the world while I'm exploring it.
Okay.
But the part that I'm at, you have to find like these 4 tombs, and you have to do it in free play mode. They tell you not to do it with other people. You're supposed to do it in free play mode. So I'm just by myself going out and finding these tombs, and then when you get to the tomb, you have to figure out, like, you have to do certain stuff. Like, it'll say you can't come into this tomb unless you do 5 world events.
So here's my question, though.
Yeah.
Does that stuff, because I want to hear the rest of this, but does that stuff start counting once you encounter that tomb?
No. It builds up to if you've done it already, then it counts.
So that must have been patched in, because that was everyone's biggest complaint. It never counted.
Oh, really?
When this game launched, you got to that point, and then it was like, now you have to get 3 people up. You have to resurrect 3 teammates.
Oh, wow. No, I never had that issue. Every time I reached a door, I already had stuff counted in. You know, like I was halfway done with every door by the time I reached it. I still have to do a lot of exploring on my own because I have to. What I've been doing is finding other people in free play mode and kind of like nudging them and say, hey, come with me.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's go over and take down this big Titan because it's going to take me an hour to do it, and it'll take the 2 of us 20 minutes.
Right.
You know, so that's where I'm at now. I'm still having fun with it. I haven't, like I said, I haven't had a ton of time to play it, but I'm up to that part. And other than the repetitiveness, I heard one thing that the story is just kind of bleak in the beginning, but it really gets into it. And around the midpoint, a lot of people are saying that they were a little more intrigued by what was going on, you know, with the story. So,
but what you've seen so far, you're not that into the story?
Yeah, what I've seen so far, like I like the characters, but it's not extremely engaging.
Okay.
You know, I see the Mass Effect DNA in that hub world, but it's just like when I say that, I mean it like you can go up to almost any character and talk to them and have discussion with them and stuff like that, and they'll give you some backstory on what's happened in the past and stuff like that. So that I like a lot because there's like a bar area where you could talk to a lot of people and explore, and you can see on the map, once you open up the map, you can see, oh, there's another whole area that is behind that giant door that I didn't even know opened, you know. So like you're like, okay, now that I can get behind that giant door, there's a whole bunch more people to talk to and figure out,
and that's
and
all
missions to be given, you know.
in Fort Tarsis. That's where it's
Yeah,
all
in Fort
okay.
Tarsis. And it's cool. I do like it. I've been enjoying it, and I know that, I hope that it gets better with the repetitiveness, just because every time I go out and do one of the missions for people, that's where I'm like, I know it's different enemies. I just feel like I've done this already. You know, like that's the only downside for me at the moment.
You know, and this was my worry coming in from the demo is it seems like that Destiny problem where it's like, okay, here's your mission. Go here, kill a bunch of enemies while you protect this one area, then move on. Go here,
exactly.
get 3 objects, kill a bunch of enemies, then move on. You know, it's like very repetitive. And I know that's that kind of game, so it's hard to like hold it against it.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm struggling with the fact of, okay, so obviously people that even like this genre aren't really into this game for a number of reasons. But maybe this genre just isn't my genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe I just don't like loot shooters or whatever we're calling these games. It's just not. I have the same problems with it I have with Destiny, and from what I heard, like the stuff I played in the demo is very indicative of what the whole game is. So that once I read that in a lot of these reviews, I was like, I do not feel the need to play this game because from what I played, I realized, okay, this isn't what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
'Cause,
But yeah, and that's why I'm saying. So it's not. That's my take on it, and that's why I was like, it would be disingenuous for me to play this because I already know that I'm not going to enjoy it. So I'd rather, Shelby was interested in it. Why don't you play it?
Yeah.
See how you feel, and it seems like for the most part you've been enjoying it with some qualms, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think the good thing for me is that I haven't run into any technical issues like a lot of people have been running into.
that's huge.
So like that's huge for me. And
Yeah.
because if stuff like that was happening, I was like, really? Like I did all this already, and it wasn't counting. That I'd be ticked.
absolutely.
So I want to ask you though, Shelby. So like, when we were all hyped for Anthem, we were talking about how excited we were for it. Like, if you could go back and tell Shelby, 3 months ago, well, like, would you say like, yeah, be hyped, like, get excited because it's gonna be awesome, or like, it's worth the purchase?
I don't think off first impression, no.
Okay.
But from what I hear that it gets a lot better, I hope I can change my mind on
So
that.
you're motivated enough to
Like,
keep going with
I'm
it.
definitely motivated to keep going on because I'm sometimes I'm a perfectionist with these freaking games, and when I
Try to
reach,
get every little thing. Yeah.
When I reach 4 doors that tell me you haven't done enough, and I'm like, you son of a bitch, I'm going to. That's
Gotcha.
just where I'm at right now.
All right.
But I'll give you guys an update on that.
Yeah, I'm
Keep
Once I
curious.
get a little bit more time. I've just had a
Yeah.
busy week.
In 2 weeks when we get to it, I'm hoping we can see a little bit more because I am curious what you think. Because I don't think it's much longer.
I
I think
it
you
can't
might
be
be
too
near
much
the end.
longer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I will admit, I haven't been, I say 10 to 15 hours of just exploring around on my own,
Right,
not
right.
really doing world events and stuff,
Yeah.
just kind of doing whatever the hell I wanted.
Right.
But if the story does get better, then yes, that'll be a high point for me.
Cool.
You know?
Awesome.
All right. Well, that was Anthem.
Thanks, Shelby.
Definitely curious to hear more on the next episode. Next on my list, I have Apex Legends because I can't stop playing Apex Legends. I think this is like, this is my game. Like I love this game. I think it is just, we talked a lot about it on the last episode. I don't have much more to add other than I put in, another 40 hours, whatever, and just every time I go to, so this will tie into a game like Metro Exodus because every time I try to play Metro Exodus and it's not grabbing me, I just go and play Apex instead because
so
I'm
Metro's no good.
Yeah.
Are there any updates or anything to it? Because I haven't played in like 2 weeks.
Right now, the only thing they added a new rifle, an energy rifle, and that's pretty much it. They've done little tweaks here and there,
Okay,
but nothing big.
Which is good to hear. That means that they haven't really had to fix anything.
Oh,
you know?
no,
That's
I
great.
mean, this game is incredible. There are very, very few problems with this game. But they said in March we're going to be getting the Battle Pass and 2 new Legends. So
nice.
coming up soon, we're going to be getting more content. So I'm very excited for that. I'm happy to this game is free.
Yeah.
I played it so much. I love it. When this Battle Pass comes out, I'm going to be happy to spend $10, whatever it is, on the Battle Pass, get a bunch of new content from it.
And then unlockable legends, or
Yeah.
do the legends come with a pass? Or
That's the question. We don't know
yeah,
yet.
all right.
They haven't really said. I would assume that you would have an option. Do you want to just buy them, or do you want to buy the Battle Pass, and then if you do enough in the Battle Pass, you can unlock them? You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
That'll be my guess based on the market, but we'll see. I just wanted to mention that I am continuing to play it. I got all the trophies in it. I got I got a victory with all 8 of the legends. Like
Nice.
I'm loving
Who's
this
your
game.
character though? Your main?
I definitely I like Bloodhound and Lifeline a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my 2. Lifeline is just so good, so it's hard to want to play anyone else. But I was stuck on Mirage for so long, where I just could not get a win with Mirage, and I finally did it. So,
Is that the gas guy?
that's Caustic. Mirage is the guy that sends out decoys of himself.
Oh, is that the second unlockable?
Yeah, there are
legend?
2
Okay.
unlockables. I ended up just doing So when you hit level 23, you have enough currency to buy one of the legends. And then I ended up just putting $10 in and getting the other one. Yeah, happily paying $10 to these guys.
Yeah, for a free game.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Cool.
just playing more Apex. I played it on this new beautiful PC that I built, and it runs so nicely on it. Like, it is so funny to play. Like, you don't even realize when you're playing on PS4 or Xbox One the amount of, like, frame rate drops, stuff like that. Like, on the launch, when you, like, fly down, it's so chunky on consoles. Like, it's like you see like the smoke and you don't even think about it, and then you play on PC and it's like nice smooth 60
That's
frames
awesome.
and it's like, oh god. So yeah, been playing that everywhere with a bunch of friends. So
Cool.
That's been good. I'll jump right into Metro Exodus.
Yeah, so I still want to, like, because I remember when we talked about Metro for the first time, and I was really interested in getting this game.
It's just not doing it for me. I want to love this game so badly. It just feels bad to play. It looks ugly. It's like not, the story is not compelling in the beginning. Like, and I keep trying to get through because I keep hearing it is like a notoriously terrible opening sequence. Like the first 2 hours of this game are bad. And I told you guys the initial sequence is like one of the worst I ever played. Like a terrible first impression. But I keep going and I keep being like, oh, maybe I just don't like this game at all. You know what I mean? Like, it's very disappointing for me because like I said, I've liked the Metro games in the past. I love the settings of these games. Like, it's totally my style of thing, and I just can't get into it, man. I really, really can't get into it.
Its two predecessors are on sale right now. That's all I know. On like the PSN
Maybe I'll just
store.
go
I
buy
saw
those
them like
instead.
bundled together. So
Yeah, I'll just pick those
Yeah.
up instead.
It's tough, man. It's a game I want to love, and I just can't get behind it. It's because there are so many other good things out that make it especially like, why am I continuing to play this? Like, every time I'll sit down and I'll play a half hour and I'm like, I don't have that much time during school. Why am I wasting my time on this? I
Yeah.
don't enjoy this. So, unfortunately, I have to say, Metro Exodus not cutting it for me.
So have you reached the point where, like, you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to shelve it?
Where it's at right now is, if I hit a lull at some point this year where I'm not playing anything, I'd like to jump back in and give it a real honest try. But right now, I mean, the stuff that I'm playing, I don't know. I don't foresee that anytime soon. I mean, Sekiro comes out in 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait.
22nd, right?
Yeah, it's coming up quick. All right, so that was Metro Exodus. I hate pooping on a game, but it's kind of poop. So,
Speaking of Sekiro for
yeah.
a second, didn't what's his name just say he'd like to make a multiplayer like Bloodborne or something like that?
What?
Sorry, like a battle
Bloodborne battle royale.
like a Bloodborne Dark Souls battle royale game.
Wow,
They touched upon that, and everybody was like, "What?"
I did not hear that, but I could see them saying something like that, just offhanded comment. But that was
It was not like he was in development with one. He was
Yeah,
just like, "Yeah, I'd make one."
right.
Wow.
Yeah. That would be nuts.
I don't know. I already hate it when, like, you're in the world and some red person comes after you and you're like, I don't want to fight you.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
they just
know.
decimate you and you lose everything.
What is
The
it?
Invaders.
Bloodborne?
When you're doing
In
if
all
you
the
play
Souls
online,
games. You
Oh.
yeah.
play online, like, other people can come in and, like,
Just
haunt
whoop
your
your
world,
ass.
and then just out of nowhere they just
Mhm.
come up to you and start trying to, like, kill you.
The
And then
worst-
you lose everything.
The worst was, I don't remember if it's in Demon Souls or Dark Souls, but there was something called a scraping spear, which would it would increase the durability of your items. Like the not the durability, like basically lower the durability. So it's like breaking.
Okay.
And so people would invade you, break all of your stuff so that you can't repair it ever, and then just leave. So they wouldn't even try to kill you. They would just break all your items.
As if the game wasn't hard enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part, is that these people are such
That
sadists.
stuff,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Oh, man.
but yeah, I mean, could not be more excited for Sekiro. Obviously,
you,
if
Shelby.
that wasn't
Thanks,
if that wasn't obvious. But I've been actually putting a lot of time into Hades.
Yeah, so
because-
tell us.
So I had played only a little bit of Hades. I remember I talked about it end of last year. You know, I gave it a try. It came on the Epic Store. Hades So I wanted to, now that I have this PC, it always like ran sluggish and not great on my laptop. So I was like, I knew I was building one soon. I was like, I'd rather give this what it deserves than play on a laptop where it's not showing what it could do. And I really, really got into this game. It is so much fun. So this is the game by Supergiant, the guys that did Bash and Transistor and Pyre. So this one is more of an action game than any of those. It's most analogous to Bastion, I guess, because you do a lot of
Bastion. I did that on purpose.
But in Hades, the thing that I've enjoyed so much about it is, initially I was a little turned off by the fact that it was in early access, but now they're adding in. So the way the game is really, the whole idea of the game is it's run-based roguelike kind of game, right? So you start out, there's a room where you can try out all the weapons that you have unlocked, and you are basically picking a weapon, and then there's like a skeleton character that you can like try your weapons out on, right? But every character in this game, like in your little hub world before you like go out on your roguelike run, is like someone you talk to and get a little bit of dialogue with and stuff like that. And the skeleton that you try out your weapons on is like you can talk to him and be like, he's like, beat me up, come on, show me what you got. Like he's like, like just yelling at you the whole time. But that what those guys do best is like characters and world building, and this game, of course, is right in line with all that. But it also just feels really good. All the different weapons feel good, and I never would have thought that they should, because you know how they have like the skull system in Bastion where you can, I forget what it's called. It's not skull. I say skulls because of Halo, and you could like modify the campaign levels by using different skulls.
Like when you can like level up the town.
I think they're called
kind of
idols.
like that. Okay.
There are idols you can equip.
I haven't played Bastion.
That give you additional. They give you additional rewards by using them. Mm-hmm. So like when you kill enemies, you get extra of the currency or experience or whatever. And it would be things like, enemies now have shields and they can't be, like knocked out of their animation because they have shields. So this game it basically does that, but in a roguelike sense. So it's like whenever you enter a room and you kill everybody in the room, a reward pops out. And that reward can range from, your special attack now shoots lightning between enemies, like a chain lightning, right? It'll completely change your abilities sometimes, or it might just modify, like, poison damage stack on this character. So the variety, like, they did exactly what they should do by making a roguelike, where it's like you're making decisions and kind of building your character in a different way each run based on the rewards that you're getting. So a lot of times you're choosing. So when you enter a room, it might have 2 exits, but it'll show you above the door like what the reward of that room is going to be. So it'll be like, this thing means I'll get plus 25 HP. So do I want that? I'm pretty low HP right now. Maybe I want that. Or do I go here where I can get an upgrade to my weapon? You know what I mean? So you're like going through these different paths, getting different rewards and building up your character. And it's just like a impeccably made game. It looks beautiful. All the character work is great. You get these, so like most roguelikes, you're getting items that you take even after you die, and then you get a currency that you don't take with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you're spending currency in your runs in order to upgrade that character, but you're not taking anything with you. And then you're getting keys, which unlock new weapons, unlock new abilities, stuff like that. So you're kind of doing a balancing act between, do I want to go get the key so that I can take it home with me, or do I want to get the currency now because I'm on a good run and I want to keep going, sort of thing, like any roguelike if you played.
Right.
Similar type of stuff. But they do it really well here.
Do they have any I'm sorry, I just cut you off.
Finish. You didn't? No.
Do they have any plans for like the actual release of the game? And like when you play this, what are they keeping out of it? Like what?
Yeah, so what they're adding so far, this is the only way I can describe it to you, because they don't really say, here's our release date, here's what's going to be in our final release, yada yada. But what I can say is with each update, they like schedule like on the home screen of the game. It says next major update in 5 days, 4 days. You know, it counts down. With each update so far, they've added characters, and the characters are, you know, Greek gods. So it'll be like now we have, you know, Zeus or whatever. Now we have Aphrodite. And those characters not only are characters in the world that you get dialogue from, but they come with new abilities for your character because, like I said, your rewards are based on them. So it's like if you see a Zeus symbol above a door, okay, I'm going to get a Zeus upgrade. And you know that he has like an option of like 5 or 6 different upgrades that you could possibly get, and then it's randomly rolled which ones you're offered. So you'll talk to Zeus at the end, and he'll be like, you know, give his little spiel, and then he'll show you, okay, if I choose this one, I get plus you know, 40% to my normal attack, and now it has like a lightning effect. If I do this one, it's like whenever I get attacked by an enemy, they take 80 lightning damage or something. Okay. So like it's all specific. So when these new gods are getting added in, you are now getting completely new abilities. So each patch, they're adding in new abilities. So they're just deepening like the systems in this game. And it's been great. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. It's fun to play. You know, like that's the real sticking point. Is it's just really fun, and it's such a just one more run kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where you just keep going. You're like, I
love those.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Hades. Right now, it's still only on Epic Game Store on the PC. When they fully release, I'm sure they're going to put out on everything, but right now, it's just Epic Game Store.
Cool.
Yeah. Shelb, let's jump into my favorite series and yours, Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, yeah.
Where you at?
So I'm still playing the second in the storyline, which is Chain of Memories, but this is the redone one.
So it's not 2, it's the one that's in
it's not
between
2. So
1 and 2?
now there's 2 in between 1 and 2. I've realized because I'm out of control. But no, it's Kingdom Hearts 1, then Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts the Division 1, 358 over 2, which takes place at the same time as Chain of Memories. That's why that's where it's at. And then it's
Dan knows his Kingdom Hearts.
Then it's 2. I'll tell you what though, I'm almost done with Chain of Memories. I like it more than the first game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. It's better. Yeah, I didn't like it at first. I think I actually said the word hate. I wouldn't put it past me because when I first started it was totally different. Like you couldn't just. It wasn't your average action adventure game, you know, like you're going through the castle and it's based on cards, you know, so it's you have cards to attack and you can't attack without using the cards.
So it's not like the first game where you just go and
you can't just go.
So
I mean, technically you can if you have that card available for you right there because you have your list of cards on the side. So what you can do is you'll have like attack cards, they're red cards, and they'll have one of the the keyblades on them.
Okay.
And they'll have a number next to the keyblade saying how strong that attack card is.
Damage you.
Exactly.
Okay,
so how much damage to do, how strong the attack card is. So you can have those in a row, and that's if you press X, you use that attack card, or if you press triangle, it'll store it up top, and you could store 3 in a row, and then if you press triangle again, it'll use all 3 of those in a row.
Okay, but it's all random.
And but it could be anything, which is the awesome thing because it's like you could use 3 attack cards and do like a combo, or you can use 3 magic cards, like 3 electricity cards, and then the electric bolt will be really strong. You could use 1 electricity and then 2 attack cards, and he'll like flash them with lightning and then attack them real quick. And if you use certain combos, they're called slights, and they have different names and stuff like that. So like if you use a Simba card and 2 attack cards, Simba will come out, do something. I think actually Jack Skellington, if you use Jack Skellington and 2 attack cards, he'll scare everybody. So all the enemies in the room kind of just like, they won't move for a second. They'll be
That's
scared.
Awesome.
It sounds so much more interesting than a normal Kingdom Hearts game.
It's so much better now that I've gotten.
Are you
the
worried
hang
about
of it,
going into 2 and not having that?
kind of, because I'm not like big on like card using games, and now that I've got the hang of it, I really like it a lot more than the first
That's
game.
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
It's just that the story it's the same beats as the first one with all the Organization 13 stuff added.
And are you Sora
so it's
and-
still interesting. Yeah, you're Sora, but with after Haley Joel Osment hit puberty. So it's like the same character with a much deeper voice.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Like,
What's up, guys? So funny. And then, but yeah, you're the same character, literally picked up from the first one. But I really am enjoying this game more,
Nice, show.
which is cool. But yeah, I am worried when I go to the next
Well,
game
is that
that I'm
the
going to
next
be like,
one
oh
that,
man, because it's
Well, you're going to do 358 over 2.
358 over 2 after
Before.
this, and then I'll go on to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Mm.
So we'll see what happens. But that's where I'm at right now. I probably have another hour or 2 left of this game. It's basically just I'm in the last world. I just have to go through it and probably fight like 6 bosses. I know it. I already know it.
it's so funny though.
That's
'cause
just how it is.
all the people that I talk to that even love Kingdom Hearts also
It's
talk
a-
about how ridiculous.
It's all
it is.
qualifiers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
it's like,
very
well-
full of qualifiers.
Well, the thing is, by the I'm guessing because at the end of the first game, you had to fight a bunch of bosses in a row.
Mhm.
You know, and it was kind of like
Like a Mega Man kind of thing, where like you have to fight all the.
kind of sort of, but in the same way, it was similar to Ocarina of Time, where you get up, you fight Ganon or Ganondorf, and then you go fight him again, and then you have to fight Ganon, and you know, like you fight the same thing 3 times, but
Yeah.
3 different ways.
Way to spoil a 21-year-old game, Shelby.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's kind of how it was at the end of the first game. So that's what I'm assuming will happen at the end of this one. And there's a couple of Organization 13 characters still roaming around, so I'm
Mhm.
like, well, I'm gonna have to fight all.
You
5
think you
of
can
them.
name all of them?
They're all Final
Xehanort?
Fantasy characters. One of them's Axel. One of them starts with an L and it's a girl.
Okay.
Lou something.
Lubu.
No, not her. One of them starts with an X.
Xehanort?
No,
That's the big boy. That's the big bad man.
no. It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure if that's him.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Axel with red hair.
Xantius?
Xantia sounds familiar. Unless you just made that up.
I didn't. I did not make it up. But you could imagine. That's the whole point.
I just can't remember their name because they're just completely obscure names.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't played it in a couple days, so I haven't heard them.
Well, in the first one, did you learn about like when? So did you learn about Xehanort and about how when you?
Ansem is the only character really that you learned about. Well,
Okay.
not the only one, but like other than your friends, Ansem is like the big baddie of the game.
Okay.
You learn about him pretty early.
All right.
And then this one just adds like every Organization 13 character is a Final Fantasy character as of now. I mean, I've only met like 5 or 6 of them, but
But you're enjoying it though, because
I'm
glad
enjoying this one
that-
a lot more because there's a lot more strategy involved.
All right.
You know, and that's where it's piquing my interest because it's not just like your mundane go through it, fight this guy, because you need like if you don't go in and use the right combination of cards, there's tons of characters I've gone in and gotten my ass kicked, and then I have to go in there and I'm like, all right, but if I use a stop card and then 2 attack cards, it stops them, freezes them, and I can attack. You know, like
That's
I've been
cool.
using that. I forget what it's called, but it's like you have to go in there with a plan, otherwise these enemies are gonna kill you.
All right.
So that's what I'm enjoying a lot more
Yeah,
about
that
this
sounds
game.
cool.
Yeah.
I know. So that was Kingdom Hearts 2. I know you have been playing another game that is a little bit older. Only came out last year. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah. So I was feeling nostalgic,
Mm-hmm.
and I was.
As one does.
I got a little tired of playing Anthem for a second, so I was like, you know what? Let me pick up the Switch because I haven't played anything on the Switch in a while, and let me go through the store. And this is just prior to Ape Out coming out, I think, because that was still. I went to the coming soon and I saw that,
Right,
and then
right.
and then I was like, all right, well, let me go to this, and I saw the Pikachu game, whatever. So I was like, oh, well, everyone's gonna get the Pikachu game. Let me get the Eevee one, and I friggin' love it.
I heard it's great.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same game. It's Pokemon Red, Blue, just completely rebuilt up for the Switch, new graphics, everything like that. You play as a new character. Technically, I mean, you're a Pokemon trainer. You're the same dude.
He's not really a character.
Yeah, it's just some made up guy. And the game is easier. Like, every time you defeat an enemy, all 6 of the Pokemon you have held get experience. Whereas, remember, you used to have to put out, like, your little shitty one and then switch them out real quick for your good one.
They all get the same amount of experience?
They all get... The ones that fight get more, but every single one of them gets some experience.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So everybody levels up pretty quickly, and it does make the game easier. And then instead of fighting, like when you... And this I love a lot more, and I'm a little worried for future.
I want to because I want to talk about.
All right,
I know what you're gonna say.
Because when you go through the grass, like it was random encounters.
There's
no random encounter. It's so much better, and
so now you actually see the Pokemon.
You see
which one it is
exactly. But
and
they
come
also,
like walking towards you. And
Yep. And they'll come running around. Like some of them are obviously faster than others. Like the little Rattatas or Rattata, whatever you want to call it. They fly. That thing goes whipping through, and he's smaller than the grass, so sometimes you don't see him. And then some of them will have a red aura around them or a blue aura. If it's got a red aura, it means it's a very large Pokemon. Blue means it's very small. It even says it says like extra large. And he'll be a little bit more difficult to catch, and you'll get more experience for an extra large Pokemon and a little bit less for the smaller ones. So I'll pick out the ones that have red. If it's one that I've already caught before, I'll go over there and be like, all right, that's more experience for me if I can catch them. And the same thing with the regular Pokemon, regular Pokeballs, which you have you try and get a lot more of. Like instead of just money, you get 2 Pokeballs, 3 Pokeballs, whatever at the end. Great Balls, Ultra Balls, all that crap. Actually, one of the funniest thing is a common thing that you get is Great Balls, and every time you defeat an enemy, it goes, "You got 2 Great Balls," and it cracks me up every time. It's so funny. But good.
I'm curious. Segue from Great Balls.
Yeah.
When I went to go, so I have Let's Go Pikachu. I got that for my sister.
Oh, you do? All right.
A few months ago, I think I talked about it. We had a lot of fun with it. So I went to the store. When I bought it, the guy behind the counter said that I sucked and that I should get Eevee because Eevee was better. So I'm curious if there's any sort of differences. You still have the same.
I don't think so.
Brock
I caught a Pikachu.
It's just your starter.
Yeah, it's just your starter.
So there's no difference.
But the reason that it matters is because you can teach. I think you can teach that your starter more moves than you can teach a wild one that you catch. So if you catch a wild Eevee in Pikachu, you can't teach that Eevee a bunch of moves.
But it's vice versa.
But you can't upgrade them, depending on which one you have. If you have the Pikachu version, Pikachu will not go to Raichu. If you try and give him a Thunderstone, he won't do it.
Right.
Whereas my Eevee stays in Eevee.
But they're much stronger than a normal Eevee
they're
or a normal
much stronger.
or a normal
Gotcha.
Pikachu.
But you'll never be able to be Vaporeon or Jolteon.
No, I mean, you can catch
You
him.
can
You
catch
can
him
catch a
from
separate
Eevee,
Eevee
yeah.
and
I
do it,
gotcha.
which is the plan. Because as you're going through, you just want to
catch them all.
catch them all. Yeah, exactly.
I want to be
But
the very best.
Here's the other thing: as you go through the grass and stuff and catch all these Pokemon, you don't fight them. When you come across them, you go up to them, you catch them. There's your experience. So it's like it's a little cool. It goes quicker. You get more of a bonus if you don't play it handheld. If you play it on the TV and you actually physically throw it, you get a technique bonus or something like that. So you get more experience by not playing handheld.
So you only fight other trainers?
You only fight other trainers. And I think they've sprinkled in a couple of other ones because there's some of them I don't remember at all.
They definitely
so they add more
added
trainers and stuff like that. But as far as the story, it's basically the same. They add cutscenes, so it's pretty cool and stuff like that. The characters obviously look great. Whereas I said before, what was the character's name? Blue or Gary or something like that? Who was the enemy guy? The
other guy. I think it was Gary.
It was Gary, but they call you guys Red and Blue if you wanted to in the beginning of the game. Blue's in the game. He's just not the other guy. But he's in it. Now the other guy that you're kind of not really competing with, he's nice. He's not a dick to you like the old guy was. He's nice. He gives you stuff mid-game. He talks to you.
And Team Rocket sucks.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Team Rocket. I was about to get to that. When you battle, it was always one-on-one. When you battle Jesse and James, right? Jesse and James, It's 2-on-2. It's 2 Pokemon versus 2 Pokemon. They throw both of theirs out, and you throw both of yours out.
A couple generations ago, they added that, I think.
Did they?
Yeah.
No,
2-on-2.
I thought it was really cool. And if you
wrong.
play with the second player, you could do that for almost any battle against a trainer that has that. But yeah.
So tell me, who's your squad right now? I want to hear
right
who you
now.
got squadded up.
Well, here's the thing. Again, I said they make it easy. When you go to the first couple of towns, in the woods in the beginning, I caught a Pikachu, so I was like, well, who needs the Pikachu version? I got an Eevee and a Pikachu right off the bat. Obviously, you catch Pidgey and Rattata right away.
Oddish?
No, screw Oddish.
Oh.
Bellsprout. No, but I went to one of the second town actually, and this woman's like, I can't train this Bulbasaur. Could you take it off my hands?
Man.
And they gave me a Bulbasaur.
Love a Bulbasaur.
And then the second town had a Charmander. And
Oh,
it was
really?
the same deal. But you have to catch a certain amount of Pokemon to get them. So, like, the Bulbasaur she kind of gives to you if you catch 20 Pokemon, which is pretty easy. And then the second guy's like, well, you got to catch 50. I'm not giving them to you until you catch 50.
Okay.
Same thing with the Squirtle later on in the game. So, I built all of them up. I have Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. So I have all 3 of those. I have a Raichu. I have my Eevee and Kadabra. Abra and Kadabra, because I wanted like a psychic
You can't
guy.
get an Alakazam until you trade him.
Until you trade them. But so much better now. You just trade it online with somebody. You don't need to connect a wire, that ugly purple wire between your Game Boys.
Man, that was so much fun in school, though.
I know it was, and I don't know anybody else who has a game, so I'm like, wow, who the frig am I going to trade with?
That's so funny.
But you also can go into some of the Pokemon centers, and there'll be people sitting on the couch and be like, oh, I'll trade you my Geodude for your Geodude. Yeah. And they give you, it's called the Alola version. I guess that's from another game.
That's from the last one, yeah.
Okay.
That's from Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon, okay. So they give you a different version. So if you caught 2 Geodudes, you're like, screw it, give it to them,
Is that the version that had Diglett or Dugtrio with the
hair?
The blonde hair?
Yes, that's absolutely what it is.
One
other thing I want to say that I really liked is they give you a judge thing. Okay. So when you go, and you don't have to put your Pokemon into a bank or anything like that and then go collect them. You have them in your bag at all times, and you could just switch them in and out if you want to.
It's just those 6 that get the XP, though.
Those 6 get the XP, yeah. Whichever ones you're holding get the XP.
Yeah, they made so many quality of life changes in this game.
So much better. And then, but they call this thing called Judge. You get it like halfway through the game, where you can say you catch 4 Diglets. Mm-hmm. You can look at their stats, and it'll say, this one has an okay stats. This one has great stats. This one has amazing stats. So you're going to get rid of the other 2 and just keep the one you have. And you physically send them to, what's his face? Professor Oak. Yeah. And he gives you little candies that like will say, oh, this one will give you.
For giving in Pokemon, is that what you're saying?
For every Pokemon you give him, he gives you little candies. And he'll be like, all right, you sent me 5 Diglets. Here's a little special candy, But you get 1 for every time you do it. And it's like, increase to 1 defense, increase to 1 attack, depending on your Pokemon.
Nice.
So that's very cool. The game is awesome. I really like it.
So do you have those? I want to hear your 6 right now.
Yeah,
you still have Eevee.
I have my Eevee.
Yeah, Blastoise,
Charizard, Venusaur.
Who's rounding it out?
Raichu and Kadabra.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
That's a good squad.
Yeah. So, I tried to. I mean, you might as well get 1 of everything, right?
There you go.
Just so
absolutely.
If somebody pops out and be like, all right, well, I got an electric. You're going to get zapped, biatch.
That's awesome.
And I just caught Snorlax, that big son of a bitch.
Nice.
He's the only one that I've come across so far
1.
that you have to fight in order to catch him.
Okay. So here's the other thing that I thought was cool is you can like ride on the bigger Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Like I caught an Onix, and you can in your 6, if you press like the plus button or something like that, they'll come out of the thing, and Eevee sits on my head the whole time.
Yeah.
But they'll come out of the thing. So if you take Onix out, you'll be sitting on top of him. He's slow though. But if you take like Arcanine out, like some lady gave me an Arcanine, and you could ride on him.
Even though it's faster movements.
Yeah, it's faster movements. Yeah,
I think that's so cool. That's such a cool like little thing.
I'm not sure if you can get the bike. I think that's why. Because I went to the bike store and they won't give you the bike.
Yeah.
Does Eevee get scared in Lavender Town?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's tough.
No. Even though Lavender Town has some cool music.
I get scared of Lavender Town. Lavender Town's scary.
You don't have a Gengar?
I got my. No, I have the other 2. I caught the other 2. I just haven't upgraded them yet. I was just gonna like go through the game and then upgrade everything else, because it's pretty easy to upgrade all the Pokemon, So it's like as soon as I finish the game, I don't have to use my Pokemon to fight in the wild. I can just catch stuff and upgrade everything. So I was gonna do that and then get all the other stuff. So
Cool.
yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a freaking blast. To
It's
play.
fun, right?
So that's Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Last game on the list. You guys ready? This is the big one.
What?
The big one. The big one.
Oh.
Devil May Cry 5.
All right, Dan.
So this game just came out this past Friday.
I've been so intrigued. I've never played an entry in the series.
Same.
Yeah, so
I'm in the same boat.
interesting thing is I played a number of them, but never was like super into it.
Okay.
My favorite one actually is the one that people don't like for some reason, DMC.
DMC.
I love that game. It is so ridiculous.
Didn't Ninja Theory do that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
love
awesome.
Ninja Theory.
It's great. So Devil May Cry 5 came out at the perfect time for me because I had just built this PC and I was like, I want a game that's gonna really like push it, see how it runs, see how everything looks on it, and it happened to not only be that game for me to show that off, but I'm really really into it and I'm really enjoying it. It is the perfect. It is a cheesy B movie, and it knows it, and it plays it perfectly. Like there is nothing. Like the thing that I would say is, those older Devil May Cries, I don't know if they knew it or not. You know what I mean? It seems like they were sincere about it, and now at this point they're like, we know exactly what we are. And they play it up so well.
It's like serious teenage angst, right?
The first one
is but this is like that, but it's kind of laughing about it in the background.
The first one's though, like what, 2000, 2001?
Yeah, no, I know.
So that's funny.
Different world.
Oh
came
yeah,
out
it's
in.
completely.
But this game, so you start off by this big cutscene where Nero, you're playing as Nero, and you're basically seeing Dante, and you're meeting V, which is the new character. And you're all fighting this big old bad boss. It actually does. It continues the story of the other ones, but again, I'm not too familiar with them. So the only one that's not interrelated is DMC, which is the one that I played the most of.
Is that Nero and Dante too, though? It's the same.
No. Well, it's Dante.
I was gonna say, is it a completely new character? Or?
So his name's Dante, but he looks totally different and acts totally different.
It's supposed to be a reboot or something like that?
It's like an alternate universe, kind of.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No
who cares?
Right. So the one previous to that was 4, right? Devil
Yeah.
May Cry 4,
Yeah.
and then they did that, and now it's Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And Devil May Cry 4 was like 2008, right? It's been like
Yeah, it's been a
11
while,
years
yeah.
since.
But then they made DMC in 2012 or 2013 or whatever it was, and now it's Devil May Cry 5, like return to the actual story kind of thing.
Cool.
So I started playing this game. So the first 3 chapters you play as Nero, and I was like, this is cool because Nero has a detachable arm. So he had his arm cut off. You find out in a later story cutscene why, but he has his arm cut off. So in the very beginning of the game, he just has like a stub. And then this whole big thing happens while she drives this van. And my only complaint about the game so far is this girl's accent is just weird as hell. Like, I think she's trying to be like Southern, like American Southern, and it's just doesn't hit at all. It's terrible. But she herself as a character is interesting. And she's like a gunsmith that drives this van around. But she's like a lunatic, so she'll like burst through walls in the van and like fly around. Like, she always shows up when you need, like, you'll find a payphone, you'll be like, can you come find me? And she'll be like fly through a wall. Like,
Just a Kool-Aid man
it's
through
so
in a
funny.
van.
Like, it's so ridiculous, but it's so funny.
That's cool.
And she basically is like, hey, I have an idea. And she gives you like a prosthetic arm for Nero. And his whole mechanic is he has his sword, and then he has his mechanical arm that, depending on what type of arm you pick up, you have different abilities. So like, one of them you shoot lightning out. One of them you do like a big uppercut that shoots you up, and that starts like an air combo, right?
Cool.
One of them detaches, and it like has a rocket on the back, and it's like punching the guys in the face like over and over again as you hold the button down while you're like hitting the.
That's
so
dope.
It's really really cool. But I was playing it, and I was like, this just feels like any old action game. Like, I don't know if I'm super into this right now. Like, whatever. Then you start playing at the beginning of Mission 4, I believe. You play as this new character, V. And he's like skinny Adam Driver with tattoos, and he literally reads out of a poetry book like aloud, like he'll like read like. Like he like reads on as he's like. So a whole mechanic is he has. So again, each character in this game have completely unique abilities. So his is he summons things. So he is like a weakling. He says he's like I can't fight these things. He's like I'm weak, but I can summon this. It's like a panther or something, and your Y attack is the panther like attacking enemies. Your X attack is this big crow that comes out and attacks, like shoots. So you're literally standing in the back and the guys are like fighting for you and you're controlling them. And that is where the game hooked me. I was like, I fucking love this. Like this feels really, really good to play. Like I understand how it works. I'm playing really well. And you can charge your devil trigger. If you hold the right trigger, he literally, in the middle of the fight, breaks out the poetry book and starts reading aloud. And then you're still hitting X. If you're holding the trigger and you're still hitting Y and X, like your guys are still fighting.
That's awesome.
But it leaves you open to attack because you can't dodge while you're doing it.
But you're reading poetry.
So he's
That's
sitting
pretty
there
funny,
like reading poetry out loud and charging up. Like it's like a taunt kind of, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
But like I said, the game is just stupid nonsense, but it really does it on purpose. The epitome of this is it's only in a special edition, which sucks. But they redid all the cutscenes in live action with the developers. Literally, I will show you guys a YouTube video after this.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
Because they literally use like After Effects, like the stupidest, like most terrible effects, and it is so good. It is like my favorite thing I've ever seen. Like I
totally
love
have
it.
to watch one.
Like they have a cardboard cutout of the van, and you see a guy's arm like doing this, like driving the van through. Like it's incredible. So like that's why I'm saying they know what they're doing, and they're fucking nailing it. And the boss battles have been incredible so far. Like really good scale, like really fun mix ups of the boss battles. The game just feels great to play.
And visually looks good,
Visually
especially
looks
with the new PC.
Beautiful on here, yeah.
Nice,
Solid
nice,
60
nice.
frames, like beautiful game.
Since it came out, I've been completely intrigued.
Yeah, same.
And I know that for PS4, they have 1, 2, and 3 in a collection.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
for like $20.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not bad.
So I was thinking of picking it up.
yeah. I highly recommend Devil May Cry 5. I've been really enjoying it. It's the perfect balance of like just fun gameplay, and it's very formulaic. It's like here's fight up to where the boss is, get a cutscene, upgrade your call Nico to get her van over, upgrade your stuff, fight the boss, big cutscene, start a new level. Like it's formulaic, and I could see that getting tiresome. But so far, I'm just really loving
That's
this
great.
game. Yeah,
Awesome.
It's really great.
Nice.
Might actually, if you said that 1, 2,
I'm-
3, I
I'm
might pick that up
definitely
and then
It's going to pick it up
later in
at
the
some
year.
point.
Good.
Yeah, this game in particular. I mean, like I said, I hadn't played any of the previous ones, so I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm missing out on stuff. Like I played them, but I don't. I don't know.
Well,
shit
I'm
about
sure
them,
the first 3, it's mainly just for story for me if
Right.
I were to go back
Yeah,
and
right,
play it,
just so
because
you
I'm
know
sure
what's
the
going on.
gameplay looks better than it did in the past, but it's probably,
Yeah.
Totally. So yeah, Devil May Cry 5. I highly recommend. I love this game. I'm really
That's
enjoying
awesome.
it.
Cool.
One thing I'd like to call back on, because
Yeah.
I totally forgot when I was talking about Pokemon,
Yeah.
about the random encounters versus
Oh,
seeing
right.
the encounters. With the recent news of Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out,
Yeah, I pretty much guarantee that it's gonna be random.
it's going to be random,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So
And-
they were talking about random because
Yeah.
they didn't show any of the what they did with this game
right.
in that trailer. But I'll tell you what, I'm totally going to play. I haven't played a Pokemon game before
Oh,
this.
I'm getting
in
that one.
years,
Yeah, no
you
doubt.
know?
I'm getting that
Um,
one. Those starters.
What was the last one? What was
Pretty
the
good.
last?
The last game I played.
X and Y? Was X and Y the
Oh,
last?
because
No,
I was going to say
Sun
the
and Moon
last
were-
one I
was
played
the
was
last one.
What was the last one?
on Game
It was
Boy.
X and Y, then Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon was the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't played since Red and Blue.
Damn.
Dead serious.
I play all of them.
Oh no, Pokemon
I
Snap.
try to get all of them too. But Pokemon Snap. I love Pokemon Snap.
I'm serious.
Oh, we need a nice.
It's a great game.
We need a nice remake
How
of that
cool
one.
would that be?
Oh
On
my
Switch?
gosh.
On Switch, they're just moving around in a
Yeah.
circle. doing
VR.
Pokemon
I'm
Snap?
telling you, put it on VR.
Oh
Good.
well, Switch
Can you
has
imagine?
that Labo VR.
Can you
now.
imagine?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
That would be great.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be
Because
great.
they have the Labo camera.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Snap.
That would be
what a
dope.
game.
What a game is
What
right.
a game.
What a
Pokemon
fucking-
Circle
Snap
back.
and-
10 out of 10.
And
Circle,
Pokemon Stadium.
Stamp that one. Stadium was good.
Stadium was
Hey,
Snap
you
was good.
Pikachu.
Nah, didn't get that far.
Too much.
Sorry, that crossed
But
the
I
line.
saw
Yeah,
well
you
with
blew
the
it.
with the trailer of the new Sword and Shield one, they have stadiums. Not just like the giant gyms, but they have an actual stadium in the
Yeah,
trailer,
yeah.
much like Pokemon Stadium. So I think the game's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it plays like this one, like
Right.
Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu, I'm in.
Who's your starter out of those three?
Out of the ones that they announced,
You the three starters for the game they
There's the
announced.
bunny-
It's Score Bunny, Grookey, and Sobble.
everybody loves Sobble. I'm
Yeah.
I'm Score Bunny all the way.
I like the bunny. I was gonna
Oh,
say.
I'm
Yeah.
Team Grookey, baby.
Yeah.
the monkey one.
Yeah, hell yeah. Is he a monkey? Is he a bird? Who knows? He's got that
It's a
beak.
Pokemon.
He's
He's
like
got that
he's
beak.
like a green monkey bird. Man bear pig. Yeah, I'm the bunny all the way. And I
Alright.
know everybody's like, "Oh, look at Sobble. He looks so sad. I just want to make him happy." I was like, "He's spitting water droplets. Get rid of him."
He's a weakling. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Circle Back Podcast. Briefly, before we go, I just want to announce we mentioned at the top, this is obviously, you won't see it on YouTube. This is our first audio-only podcast. We're doing that because we want to pivot to a bunch of different stuff for video. So keep an eye on the YouTube channel, even though the episode of the podcast is not going to be on there, because we are going to be doing some Circle Back snippets of the little 5-minute videos, 10-minute videos, just talking about specific topics. So if you don't want to, do the whole episode, you can just watch certain topics on there. We're also going to be doing some other really, really fun video stuff that we'll talk about at a later date. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Thank you.
Circle
everybody.
Back Gaming on YouTube. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Shelb.
As always.
And we'll see you guys next time.
I'm
Peace.
also waving goodbye, even though you can't see me.
You're lying. You're not. Oh, okay. There it goes. Bye, guys. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching and or listening. Just here to remind you that you can find us by searching for Circle Back Podcast or Circle Back Gaming on any of these podcast services: Anchor, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, or Stitcher. By God, I'm out of breath because of all these podcast services, but you can find us anywhere there. Also, you can find our video version on YouTube by searching Circle Back Podcast or Circle Back Gaming, and the rest of the videos we do. Thanks, guys.